My name is Joanna, and I'm working as a project manager at the IDZ and the UX Design Awards. And on my left here, I have Ake.
Hello, I'm Ake Rudolph. I'm Director of the UX Design Awards and Head of Strategy at International Design Center, Berlin.
Thank you. And yeah, as I mentioned, it's a Q&A. So we really look forward to hearing from you in the audience. You can post your questions through the comments and the chat, both on LinkedIn and Zoom. And we will do our best to answer your questions after our short presentation. We're just going to talk for about 10 to 15 minutes about the awards and give you some more valuable information before we go ahead with the Q&A. Without further ado, let me share my screen again. And hand it back over to you, Ake.
So a few words about the UX Design Awards, just very briefly. There we go. Not only about the awards, but also about the organization behind the awards. So we, the International Design Center Berlin, are a nonprofit design association. We have members among designers, consultancies, and companies across Germany and beyond. We are a nonprofit organization, and this is also why we have a very high professional level in the awards and the judging. We benefit from more than 50 years of experience being on the market. We represent designers and we promote the positive impact the design has on society and, of course, in the economy, the industry. So yes, the awards are one of our programs that we actually developed to promote the power of good design across the world and also in Germany as well. We have two main focus areas. One is, of course, user-centered design, which the UX Design Awards come into, and the other one is sustainable design, where we also do a European-wide competition on sustainability and design together with the German Ministry for Environmental Affairs. So in the UX Design Awards, our focus actually is on judging, on a very diligent and exact judging process. And it's a B2B award focused and aimed at the professional design field, companies, and the design industry. We developed the awards, or the awards originated in 2005 from an annual exhibition usability we did back then. And in 2015, we started the actual awards program, as you know it now. And since then, the UX Design Awards have grown into actually being a worldwide recognized platform and industry benchmark for accomplished products and services. So over to you, Joanna.
Yeah, perfect. So a little bit more about the awards and how it works. There are three categories in which you can enter your best UX. New talent, which is for bachelor's and master's projects from around the world. And then we have the product category, which is for market-ready products, services, and experiential environments. Lastly, there is the concept category for prototypes, MVPs, service concepts, conceptual environments, foresight studies, and research projects. And do keep in mind that your products or projects shouldn't be more than 2 years old when submitting. So the phases, time-wise, we are right now in the call for entries, which is quite self-explanatory. This is when you have the chance to submit your work, and it runs until the end of May, so another couple of weeks. Following the call for entries, the first award stage is the nominations. And here a first selection is made by our jury. Following this, there's also a PR campaign on social media for all the nominees. And all nominees also get published in an online exhibition on our website. In addition, there's also public choice voting, which means that all the nominated projects are in the running for Public Choice Award, and users worldwide can vote online for their favorite project. And last season, we had about 20,000 participants worldwide in the poll. So it's quite big.
Yeah.
Yeah. The final phase is the award winners. And here it comes to the jury looking closer at the nominated projects and selecting the winners. And it's actually up to the jury to decide how many winners there are per category. So it can vary a little bit each year. When they've been chosen, there is also a winner announcement online, and we do a live stream on LinkedIn, as well as a PR campaign that is specifically for the winners. And there will be some online events as well, which I will explain a bit more about later. Right, so in a nutshell, how to go about entering. Firstly, you go to our website and you click on register. And the first step is to set up your participant profile. Small tip here is to keep your login information in a safe place because your login should not be an email. So best to save it somewhere. The next part is your actual project submission, which consists of PR content and what we call private information or information for the jury. Nothing strange here. There are some fields that are marked red, which are compulsory, so these need to be filled out. And the others are up to you. The second part, like I mentioned, will not be communicated outwards, be only for the UX Design Awards team and the jury, whereas the PR content will be communicated outwards. So you have these two parts. And our tool auto-saves your work, so you can always come back and finish later and work on it over time. You can enter as many projects as you like for the product and concept categories, whereas for new talents, you can enter one project. Back to you, Ake.
Thanks, Joanna. So a couple of tips of what we learned through the years of working with the juries of what is important to know when you submit. We actually really suggest and recommend to you that you ask your UX product responsible teams to fill in the information, because entering in the UX Design Awards is really about the substance and not about marketing. So, of course, keep your text short and to the point, because jurors want to quickly understand a submission, structure your information well, and answer questions in a short and factual way. So if there is somebody on Zoom, just turn off your mic for the moment while we're speaking. It's important to not repeat yourself in the questions and the answers that you give, and focus on explaining the why, so the core idea behind your submission. Why is it important? You focus on your story. What is the need, the reason, for whom is the product made? Why was a certain solution path taken, and based on which insights, and of course, what's the impact of your work? You should always offer insights, facts, and not claims. We really suggest that you show also some insights on your user-centered design process. We give you the opportunity to upload a short PDF. We recommend it to be short and factual, maximum of 10 pages, where you can outline the user research methods that you used, the design decisions based on your insights, and add some information about the development process. Of course, all the stuff that you can share. You can also explain the outcome, the benefits there, the feasibility. realization, business value, and of course, again, layout, which design decisions were taken based on which user insights. If you submit a solution for a highly specialized field, then we recommend that you also help the jury to understand a little bit more about the domain. So outline the use case a little bit, tell about the background, the processes that are involved, and also about the technology that you've used, because it can be very specific. And although the jury comes from a wide range of fields, you might not be able to know everything out there. You can also add an explanation film. So this is a very, it's a suggestion, but it's very practical. Just film with a smartphone as you walk through your solution, talk about what you do, show a little bit about how your product works. This is really helpful for the jury to understand, the user process and the screens, the information, etc. that's involved. Upload images that show not only screens and the product, but also maybe people using the product, mood images, which is helpful. And we also suggest that you plan ahead, download our participant guidelines with all the details. We have outlined the questions there. So you are able to prepare the information that you want to submit well, and also structure it well. So next up, this is an overview of our judging criteria. So what are we looking for in the UX Design Awards? We focus on the positive impact of people-centered products and services, also on research. So we really look for solutions that provide meaningful outcomes and help people to gain their goals and to that answer to actual user needs. So it doesn't matter which field. The awards are open across all industries and application fields. So it's really about showing that the solution makes an impact. This can also be a small or seemingly small element, a solution that helps workers to make a better solution or a faster decision in a safer way counts. Also, a solution that helps maybe children, to sit through a long travel journey in the backseat in a peaceful manner and have more fun traveling counts as well. So the jury evaluates each submission in 3 stages based on a scoring system throughout these 6 criteria that you see here. And of course, there's more information about those criteria and what they entail on our website. So please check this out. And as in any serious competition, everything comes down to credibility. So it's really about the quality of judging and the attention that we place on your work, on the details that you provide, on the background information that you provide, in order to come to good decisions in a diligent judging process and to keep the highest professional level of quality in the competition that's possible. So our juries are also selected based on such criteria to come from different fields and backgrounds, both from design and industry, from large companies, from the design fields, from research as well, and education. And we change our judges frequently, so they always bring in new perspectives. And of course, the juries emphasize diversity and international representation as well. So please also have a look at our jury page on our website. Over to you for the next step.
Yes. So very important is also, why would you enter the awards? What are the benefits? And firstly, recognition. So it's a great opportunity to have your work endorsed by leading industry experts and design professionals, and gain recognition for your R&D efforts and product quality. Secondly, brand value. Again, gain international recognition and showcase your experience excellence. Strengthen the visibility of your organization within the UX field. Not to be underestimated is motivation. We often hear that it's really important for teams and UX teams specifically when they get nominated or win an award. It means a lot for motivation within the team and also to give credit to your design teams and people. Also, a big one is visibility. You have the opportunity to increase the exposure and reach of your work in organization. We have a virtual exhibition with 430,000 page views annually, and where you get also a dedicated page for your project if you are nominated. And we also have a UX community with almost 200,000 professionals and design talents. And as I mentioned before, we do a global voting campaign with about 40,000 people taking part each year. If you do win an award, you also are offered the opportunity to be part of our virtual event series. And for professionals, we have the deep dive series, and for new talents, we have the talent track. And it's a great opportunity to share insights with other design professionals and also talk about your work together with your team, development process, specifically from a UX angle. And there's also a Q&A with the community. So this is also very appreciated from the winners. We hear this a lot. And it's an online talk which gets streamed on LinkedIn to a vast audience across the world. And this year, we also have a new benefit for new talent winners, which we're very happy about. And it comes hand in hand with our new partnership with the IXDF. And basically, you can choose from a selection of masterclasses, specifically about UX. And there's a broad spectrum of about 40 classes. So for the new talents, they can choose, and this is part of their prize, so to speak. Oops, sorry. Wrapping up here, back to you for the costs, Ake.
Well, we are funding the competition ourselves, so there is some cost involved because running a global competition is quite an effort, although we are a small and lean team. So there's basically two fee levels. There is a submission fee when you submit your work, and there is a nomination fee for professionals when the jury nominates your work to actually enter the competition for the award stage. And that second fee actually covers all other costs that might come up. So that includes, of course, the visibility on our website, being part in a yearbook, of course, the whole judging process, the public choice voting, and the promotion of your work during the public choice voting process through our social media and website. Important to say, for our new talent participants, we decided to waive the nomination fee to support your work. And so you only need to cover the first submission fee level. As I said, all the costs go into funding the competition, the jury, and a proper judging process, as well as the promotion of all participants. So as we said before, the call is open until the end of May. Sorry. So we are actually very much looking forward to your work, to seeing your submissions. And if you're considering entering, we're very happy about this. So working on great experiences, please do make it count for your work and give it a try and enter. And we're here to hear your questions and to share more insights about what you might want to know about the awards. So thanks for being with us with this short presentation. Now it's over to you and your questions. You can put your questions to us through the LinkedIn comments. We're right here on the screen, so we can bring them in. And if you're on Zoom, you can post them to the chat or just ask us directly right now. Thank you.
Thanks. We have someone who's putting up their hand here. So let's have a look. You are, of course, also welcome to ask your question via video. So if that's what you want to do, Sasha, you can go ahead, up to you.
Hello, thank you so much for the presentation. So I work at the design agency, and we're supposed to nominate 2 of our client projects that we've been working on in the past years that we think are really exciting. So it's been insightful to learn a little bit more what is expected, but also how we describe the story behind of our hard work before we submit it. Our question would be a little bit more about because one of the requirements is the research, the PDF on the research and the user-centered approach, which we've done a lot, but maybe you can, a little bit explain of how you would like us to present it to you. Thank you.
That's a good question, and thanks for your interest. There is no right or wrong there. I think really it's if you have a vast amount of information, we sometimes get PDFs with 200 pages, entire research processes or master project documentations. That's obviously too long. We suggest something around 10 pages. So it's important to structure it well and basically to lay out maybe, how did you frame the problem? What was the challenge? How did you research the actual challenge and the users? What were the user research methods and maybe stages in the process that you employed? And of course, which kind of decisions did you make based on this user research? I hope that answered your question.
Yes, thank you. Yes, of course.
Thanks, Sasha.
I've got a question here in the chat from Zoom. Is there an in-person award ceremony? No, at the moment we are streaming the award announcement. We're actually producing a small feature film, animated film that you can see also on our website on the events tab. And the decision is to basically do a very short and enjoyable clip that people can watch throughout the world, because we've got participants coming from all over all countries across the world. So doing an in-person event just sometimes isn't fair, because some people can travel, others can't. So we decided to go for purely digital. So next question, I'm wondering if numerical data is required to quantify the benefits users gain or the benefits of the solution. Yeah, that's a good question too. Facts are what counts. So if you have hard data based on your either research or outputs or something like a net promoter scores, please add it. Always makes sense. Yes.
That said, I wouldn't say that it's a requirement.
True, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's of course nice to have if you have it, but of course qualitative research and that kind of data that's not numerical is also super valuable and valid. So.
And especially talking about concepts, if you submit a solution that's not on the market yet, of course you don't have any hard data yet. Or if you submit something in the new talent category, which is a conceptual work from university, then it's even more interesting and I think valuable to show the research that you did, just to show that there is factual foundations of your work, and it's not just conclusions on ideas you developed yourself. So show a little bit your thinking behind your work. That's important.
How about the LinkedIn chat? Is there anything coming in there?
No, not yet.
Sometimes. Okay.
So if you're on LinkedIn right now, feel free to post to the comments. We'll pick it up.
We have another question on Zoom here from Suyun Kim, who I believe is the panda bear joining us. It's a panda, right? So the question here is, even though the service has been actually developed, would it be better to exclude whether it was developed or any content related to the development? So I'm trying to make sense of the question. I'm not actually understanding it completely. Perhaps it's if you are referring to that it's a concept. Is that it, Suyun? Or do you gather something else from this question, Ake?
Would it
I'm
be
not
better
sure.
to exclude whether it was developed or any content related to development? It's about presenting the basis on what you base your concept. And so if you have either a research base or a problem framed, a challenge framed, please describe this, and if it's a concept, of course, you should show us or show the jury how was your reasoning and what did you undergo, which steps did you do in order to frame the problem and a future possible solution, and what is this possible solution based on, which kinds of assumptions did you do, but of course, which kind of research did you do, because you should research a solution before it gets to the market.
We hope that answered the question.
Maybe let me bring one in from our LinkedIn community from Mohanat Naji. Our solution requires Jordanian citizenship. Does a Figma prototype suffice for the judges? Yes, of course. And this is a very good example for what we mentioned beforehand, which is if you have solutions that are targeted on a certain market or citizenship or group of people, and they're obviously then kept in the language of your target group, then it would be very good if you could send in some descriptions or explanations and translate the most the key parts so the jury understands what the solution is about. And here it can be very helpful either if you can provide a Figma prototype, to keep it in English, or even if you have a Jordanian solution for Jordanian citizens, then just basically, as we said, do a low-tech walkthrough video while you use your solution and speak in English and describe what you're doing and why, from a user's perspective. So how would a Jordanian citizen use this solution? Because this, then the language of the solution isn't a problem anymore. People will understand what is it about and how does it work, what are the steps. I hope that clarified your question.
Yeah, I think Figma files we've had before, and it's not a problem to send in a Figma. So we have another question here from Deepali, which relates a little bit to this. If Deepali is asking if they should present their work, their case study for the jury online, and if yes, what is the scheduled presentation time? So no, this does not happen. There's no live online presentation for the jury. Rather, as part of the submission process, you will answer a number of questions about your work. And you also have, as Ake mentioned, the possibility to add a research PDF, as well as you have two films. So you have one that's like a PR film, so to speak. It goes for outwards communication. And if you want, you can also add an explanation film. So those are your opportunities to explain to the jury to give more insight into your work and process.
And I can add to this, if jury members have questions about solutions, we reach out to you and relay the questions to you and ask you for further clarifications. So we really do whatever is possible to help the jury to properly understand a submission, and for you, of course, to have success in the competition.